Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bristol Blue, the Quiltmer. And boy, do I have some bombs coming up here in the future. So this is just going to be an update video. There won't be any sew along today. I still have to get my lawn mowed. I did get the gas for the lawnmower yesterday. So I am going to do that. And then Mom and I are going to go to dinner this evening and run to the co-op. So I need to give you an update. I have worked on pressed flowers. So we're going to go on with that and give you an update on where we're at with that. So let me just turn you around this way. I have finished all of 1 and 2. They are sewn together. And I have blocks, the third row together. I just needed to pick out the fabrics for that. And I did that this morning. So I have now my sew and flip corners are all picked out. It didn't matter what I had on the bottom because I'll have to match up with row 3. So row 3 is down here. It's just stuck to the wall right now. I have not done anything with it. On the side here, I do have the setting triangles for those. So those that'll all get done hopefully in the next couple of days. I was having an issue with my blocks not matching or meeting up in the corners just right. So I did some measuring of all of the blocks and have determined that instead of 17.5 as my block size, it's going to have to be 17.25. So that way I don't have these huge gaps in between all of my points in the middle of the blocks. So I've got that all figured out. I've got it all figured out now. And so I can quickly and swiftly move on to the rest. So I can have this row and the third row done hopefully in the next couple of days. Because I have it on my personal schedule to have it done by Friday, the whole top. However, I want to have it done by Wednesday, if possible. So we might be able to make that happen. However, my personal schedule is a little bit busy. So I think what we're going to do this week is just have a sew along video on Thursday only. So we can play a little catch up and we can sew together and just chit chat, if that's okay with you and everybody else. I'm going to do it. You can provide feedback that if it's not something you're looking forward to or something like that, just let me know. I need to work this out so that we're all kind of all on the same page here. So I'm really excited the way that this is turning out. I really, really like it. I am really liking it because I really, really, really want to get to my fun border idea. So that's kind of pushing me to get more of that done. So then the other thing that I worked on, and this is what I did on Friday, is I was cutting out the pieces for the cherry block on the Fruit Medley table runner project. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I got a larger picture here. So that you can see what I'm actually talking about. I didn't lose you, Duda. Okay. So I have the blueberry, the lemon, the cherry, the daisy, the pineapple, and the pear done. So I worked on this on Friday, and I got this finished. Now, I was going to do it just as it is here and just flip the colors and do new leaves colors. But there is in the pattern in the book kind of a left and right assembly where one of the cherries here is opposite. So in this instance, they're both, this one's lower, this one's higher, and this one's the same with the border underneath. So I decided to change and do the opposite of that and do the opposite side. Oh, let me grab my block here. And I did it this way. So let me stop sharing. I did it the opposite direction. So I'll do a side-by-side comparison of the two blocks here so you can see it. It worked my brain quite a bit because it's directionally challenging here. So this is the way the two are. And I did them just a tad bit different so that they kind of a mirror image of each other. So I really liked how that looked. I haven't put it up on the wall yet to see how it looks in the quilt, but with my brain kind of thinks it's going to be kind of cute. So that's where I am with that project. And if you're new here, and I've got a few new subscribers over the weekend, here is my blueberry block. Here is my lemon block. See if I can put these in the order in which they're supposed to go. So here is the left side cherry. Left is on the left side of the table runner. There is my daisy block. Hold on. Yeah, this one's got to go in the right direction. There are multiple, mostly fig tree fabrics in here because I did buy the fruit cocktail. But I've also got like Corey Yoder. I've got Lori Holt. Let's see, the pineapple block goes next. And the pear block. And I don't know who the designer is of these two fabrics that I used in here. I honestly do not even know. I had like one of those design rolls of some peachy fabrics. And it was no, it came in a Sew Sampler box, and I didn't look back into my historical records of the cards. I kept all of the cards and all of the patterns that came with them, but I threw out the boxes. So I have to do some research to find out, and it's probably years of boxes to go through. So, and then the cherry I just did. So I have another lemon to do. Let's see if I can get my light to work out. I have another lemon to do. And an apple, another daisy, and an orange. So I want to get this finished too, but right now I'm working on this like 1 day a week. So we'll see if I can get any additional time on that. I think I'm going to use my Sew Along time on Thursday to work on that project. So there's that. And then I worked on Hometown. I made big progress on that. I worked on that just pretty much exclusively after I got that block finished. Oh no, I worked on this too. I shouldn't say that. I did work on this project too. But anyway, here we are with Hometown. I got my beehive block. It's all pinned on, and it's probably not even in the right area. I haven't put the stem on. I haven't put the stem on for the flower yet. It's just hanging loose here because I have to get all the rest of it in place. But I do have, everything still needs to be ironed on. And again, to my new subscribers, I am doing this with fusible rather than the Lori Holt method. And I also work one block at a time. I'm not one to, unless it's a really small project, I mean like super small, will I even cut all my fabric in advance. I work one block at a time. Literally, block of the month, block. It's a block. That's all I do. So, and I do have many of the piece blocks together. So my next update on this, I will have the piece blocks, and I have assigned myself what blocks get done with which house and vice versa. So the blocks 22, 23, and 24 are assigned with this house. So I've got to get those done too. Every other week, I'm going to do houses until I'm done. And that should get me through till the end of June with time to spare. I have only the first house did I do any of the top stitching. I haven't done any top stitching in the others. So I got probably the month of July to either the first part to catch up on what I have not yet done and to do the top stitching on all of these. And for the new subscribers, there was a question brought about by one of my other viewers about whether or not, because these pieces are going to be larger than the Lori Holt method, because there's a 1/4 inch seam that gets folded under when she does her interfacing. These will work just fine. I will have at least 1/2 inch on either side available to that won't, it's not going to interfere with the final size of the blocks. I haven't cut any of them down to the final size yet, but I have measured everything that I have done so far, and I will have plenty of extra space on either side so that I can get it down to the official size that Lori asks us to square them down to, which is I think 15.5 inches, something like that. So here we are. This is the beehive house. Yay. I'm really happy with the progress so far. So I have printed off myself the new program, and I put dates and numbers of the piece blocks that need to be done and my kind of plan going forward, because I want to get it done by the end of July, because I am going to be doing the hometown sew along, which will come, I think the kits are delivered in July, and the Be Prepared and everything starts in August. So I want to do that. And I will show pictures and more of that information as the time gets closer. So that you can, so if you're not familiar with the hometown sew along, it's with, I don't remember which fabric line it came out with, but there's like a huge house at the bottom of the quilt. And then across the top all the way down is the whole alphabet, like a sampler cross stitch would look, with other motifs and whatever in there. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It looks kind of Christmassy to me. There seem to be lots of reds and greens, but I want to have this done before I can even allow myself to start that one. So we have quite a project to finish. So the other thing is, as I mentioned, I do work one block at a time. So the Be Prepared document gives you all of the cutting instructions for everything right up front. And so I found a trick for myself, and I will share my screen again to show you how I do this so that I can. All right, so I'm going to have to do this in this way. So I'm going to scroll down on the top of the document when you open it up in your PDF viewer. I opened up the search button, and I don't know if you're seeing this. I opened up the search button. My computer's running a little bit slow in the background. So in this instance, I'm looking for everything that's associated with beehive, and it will go through and highlight all of the things that are related to Hive House. So I can just go through these one at a time with my stack of fabrics, pull out the fabric that I need, and go ahead and stitch that particular block or the piece block. So I will do a search for the pieced block number, £, and the number of it. If you're in the single digits, you probably are going to get more than just the one block. Like if you're looking for one, you're also going to get like 1, 0, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you have to go search through those a little bit clearer, unless there's another method that you're aware of. But that is how I go about sewing one block at a time in a Lori Holt sew along. using the Be Prepared document. So now that I've got all of the pieces cut for this, so now when I go in to make the piece blocks, and the first one I'll be working on is number 22, I will go in here and change this to block, oops, put my fingers in the right place here, block number 22. And it'll start going through and pulling out everything that's associated with block 22. So I can cut 4 pieces of this fabric, of the background fabric, at 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares. So that's how I'll work. That's how I've been working it. So if that's a good tip and thing for you, awesome. And also for the fusible web, let me bring that out here. I am using Heat and Bond Light, and I get it in these little packages. Here, I can stop sharing. I get it in these little packages at Joann's. I don't use a whole bunch of it all at one time. Sometimes I do. It depends on the project. Then I'll go by yardage of it if it's needed. I keep all the little scraps for it in a Ziploc baggie because I will use these little tiny pieces. There is something in there that's usable, a leaf or, a little baby circle or something like that. But I keep all of it, and I keep it in a Ziploc baggie. And I put it up here with all of the stuff needed for that project. Now, I've got my Sew Sampler shapes in the packaging that it came in. And I have the little card that was stapled to the top in the package. Now, there's a whole bunch of little bitty tiny pieces. And with every block that you do, you have to go searching through. There's a lot of pieces in here. So what I did was went and got some little Ziploc baggies, and I save all of these from all of the stuff that I order. And I put the 50s in this bag. All the 20s are in this bag. And I wrote on it because this will all stay together for future use, because I might be able to use some of these templates for another project of sorts. This is the 60s. So I have 30s and 40s and the teens. I have not split out like 1 through 10 or anything like that. And then the bigger pieces, I just left whole inside of here. 1 through 10 are still down here because this is 18. It doesn't fit in my little bitty tiny teens bag. So I just left that in here. But it makes it so much easier for me to go through and find which shape I'm looking for, so that I can trace it onto my fusible web, so I can iron that onto the fabric. And so little tricks that I do. And I know I'm not the only one that sews one block at a time. I also follow pictures rather than text in the instructions for patterns. Unless it looks confusing, then I have to deactivate the brain from picture mode, because I'm very, very visual, to actually go through and read the instructions line by line and make sure I can understand it. So those are the little tips and tricks that I have. Is there anything else I need to talk about? That is the update. Oh, on the press flowers, the only other thing was the only blocks I changed out was blocks 7, 8, and 9 were supposed to be in this row. I did 9, 8, and 7. I switched these out because I didn't want this yellow and orange one to be right underneath this yellow and orange one. So it was the only change I made in this quilt with the order in which the blocks were to be done per the pattern. So there. That was the only thing that I had changed. There wasn't anything else that I worked on. I worked this weekend, and I have not yet mowed the lawn, so that's what I'm going to be doing next. And then I'll get cleaned up and go take my mother to the co-op and go have dinner. At least once a month, if not more, we go to dinner. So I'm looking forward to getting away from all of my responsibilities for a moment and just kind of veg out. So I love you guys. Thanks for being here. How long has it been? 20. Yeah, I was going to shoot for at least 20 minutes. I didn't want to go any longer than that on any of these like update videos. So tomorrow we're going to have an update. And oh, I don't have any packages. I had mentioned last week that there were some packages that were supposed to come in. I've got 2 boxes coming from Fat Quarter Shop and 2 boxes coming from Primitive Gatherings. And according to my USPS email today, they're all supposed to be here today by 4 o'clock. So keep my fingers crossed. So tomorrow we should have some box openings and an update on what are we going to get an update on tomorrow? Ooh, Laundry Basket Quilts Block 19 comes out tomorrow. And I've got a sew along announcement. See if you're interested in joining along with me. You guys have a great rest of your day, your Monday. I hope your 4th be with you was a good Saturday too. I did not even think about it until today, so I missed out on that one. But I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. I love you, Quilt Bombers. Bye now.